Well, Harley needs to watch their ass. Indian just dropped the new Chief. Now, I was kind of confused because they've had the Chief for a long time. Matter of fact, I think I see more Chiefs than I do maybe anything else from Indian. Maybe Scout. The Scout maybe has took over here lately, but they've had Chiefs for a long time. And I've seen them around, and they always have that nice antique look to it. But this is a different Chief. And if you look on their website, the other one is called the Chief Vintage, which I think it was always kind of called that. There was a Chief, then a Chief Vintage, and Chief Dark Horse or something like that. I don't know what. But the Chief Vintage is staying, and it's got the classic front fender, and the swoopy lines, and the war bonnet, and all that stuff. But this new Chief is like, it's a completely different bike. It's a whole new frame. Same engine. It's the 116 Thunderstroke. I think some people were kind of wanting something with the Challenger engine. I think it's called the Power Plus. But the new bike, man, it looks good. It looks good, and I think it fills a pretty big hole in their lineup. You know, with Indian, you had the Scout, and then you pretty much had their touring bikes almost. The Chief really was like you had your Roadmaster, which was kind of like the Electra Glide. Then you had the Chieftain, which was kind of like a Street Glide. Then you got your Springfield, which is kind of like a Road King. And then you had the Chief and Chief Vintage and all that, or Chief Classic, whatever they called them, and that was kind of like just a Road King with leather bags instead of hard case bags. And really that was it. So you kind of went from the Scout, which is really small, way up to the touring line, and there was nothing in between. Well, now there is, and it's a pretty cool bike. I think it looks good. It looks great. They all come with cruise, which is awesome. That's something Harley could do real easy, but they won't. And you've seen the video of me and Tony putting a cruise control on his Street Bob, and it cost him, I think, $250, and that was with us installing it. Pay the dealership to do it. You're looking at about $500 to get cruise put on your Street Bob, or other Softail that doesn't have it. But every Chief is going to have it. And unless you get the very basic Chief, like you get a Limited, a Dark Horse, or anything like that, then you're going to get navigation. Imagine a Softail from Harley. Imagine a Street Bob that came with a TFT screen, touch screen, Bluetooth, USB connections, and navigation all inside that little 4-inch gauge cluster there. Imagine if a Softail had that. Wouldn't that be cool? Well, it doesn't have it. Gotta go to Indian for that. It's pretty cool, man. It looks good. Indian has no problems coming out with videos and features and marketing material that gets people excited. If this ain't just the best, just the most prime example of it, I don't know what is. This is a huge example of the contrast between the two companies, because you look at Harley's video from a week or two ago, it was 40 minutes of fluff and about 5 minutes of actual content. Everybody was pissed. I was pissed. Everybody was super disappointed in it, and everybody kind of walked away about it. But with this Indian thing, man, they released the new FTR the other day, or the updated FTR the other day. Everybody was pretty happy about it. And then this week they released a whole new model, this new Chief. Everybody seems to be pretty happy about it. People have been asking for a Dyna-sized Indian for a long time now, or a new Softail size Indian for a long time now. Well, Indian actually listened to the customers and did it. And not only did they do it, I mean, they blew it out of the water. It's got cruise, it's got touchscreen navigation, it's got LED lights, that seems to be a big thing that people get pissed at Harley about, is that their Softail's not coming standard with all LED lights. Jeep's got LED lights, and that's a nice headlight too, by the way. My wife's Scout has it. It's a nice headlight. It's a good one. Man, 120 foot-pounds of torque and a small bike like that. I looked at the weight. It's about 670 pounds wet, which to me, that's still pretty heavy, but somebody was saying you can swap out the exhaust and get rid of the cat, and that saves, he said, about 25 pounds. That's a lot. But anyway, it's still pretty heavy, but that's cruisers. The Street Bob is heavy too. The Street Bob is also about 660 something pounds also. So it's fairly comparable. Power is also, I think, fairly comparable if the Street Bob's got the 114. If Street Bob's got the 107 or something else has the 107, well, then it's going to be more Indian's favor. So man, they look good. Sounds like a winner to me. I think they're going to do very well. Also today, in other news, the Rebel 1100 got its first reviews from a lot of different motorcycle journalists. All sounds great. Rebel 1100 looks like an awesome bike too. It comes with cruise, and it also has the DCT transmission, which if you like touring, that can be a really cool thing. Man, everybody's really jumping on Harley's ass right now. They really are. And what I am most excited about is seeing cruise control come on more motorcycles, because I think that it should just be the industry standard. Everything now is drive-by-wire anyway. There really is no reason for stuff to not be cruise control across the board. I don't give a shit if it's a Honda Grom. It needs to have cruise control on it. But cruise is just so nice. It really can it can turn almost any bike into a better touring bike just instantly. Just by having cruise, your touring capabilities automatically go up by a lot just by having that one thing. So I'm really glad to see that all these new bikes are getting cruise. Really glad to see that this new Chief has a touchscreen and navigation. That's amazing. That's wild. That's really interesting, and I think that's a very cool feature. It's an industry, or it's a class standard, or I'm sorry, not class, it's a class exclusive for sure, because the Softails don't have anything like that. They hadn't even thought of that shit. Man, Harley needs, of course, you know, shit, it's an old shoe by this point, but Harley needs to do something, because I saw a guy made a video about how he was not disappointed by Harley's 40-minute video of a couple weeks ago, because he said, number one, he's just happy that Harley's still here, which that's, you know, damning with faint praise right there. But he also said that, well, because of COVID, you know, they're not going to come out with anything. They've had, you know, 2020, COVID, you know, they can't do it. Well, listen, yeah, COVID sucked and COVID was tough on everybody, but Honda came out with the Rebel 1100. Indian apparently had the Chief in the works. You know, they released it here in 2021, but I mean, it was early February of 2021. They had this in the works all through 20. You know, Harley is the only company that lost its ass during 2020. Honda, Indian, Yamaha, Kawasaki, everybody else did fucking awesome during 2020 because everybody was on lockdown and wanted to get away and do things that they could continue to socially distance while doing. So everybody went out and bought bikes, four-wheelers, side-by-sides, and all kinds of shit last year. Hell, we bought 2 cars and a side-by-side last year in 2020. So everybody did well except for Harley. So I don't really know where that guy's coming from. Harley's just too damn slow. Well, I'm sorry, but they're just too damn slow. Too damn slow. Pan Am still ain't out. We still don't know for sure how much it's going to cost, how much it's going to weigh, what the kind of power it is. We still don't know any of that shit. This is February of 2021. That bike was rumored in early 2019, maybe late 2018 even. Because I looked it up. It was announced in November of it was announced in officially announced in November of 2019. But all of us saw rumors and concepts and leaked videos or leaked footage or leaked photos of the Pan Am all through 2019. And I kind of feel like it was even as early as 2018 we saw leaked photos and heard rumors and all that kind of stuff. Now we're in February 2021. We still haven't seen it on a dealership's lot. Still don't know for sure how much it's going to cost. Still don't know what the power is going to be. We're pretty sure because there's been some leaked information, but it's not official yet. We don't know how much it weighs. We don't know shit about it. It still hasn't come out. It needed to be out I've said it last year. It needed to be out last year. And it needed to be out in 2021, like right now. I don't know. Man, Indian is making moves. Indian is doing really good things. Every time I see an Indian announcement, I get excited because it's either going to be something cool like a new bike or it's going to be an air-conditioned seat. That's wild. Who else has an air-conditioned seat in a touring bike, in a touring cruiser bike? Nobody has that shit. Honda doesn't have that. Harley doesn't have it. Nobody's got that. An air-conditioned seat? That's insane. It's always something cool like that. It's always something that gets me excited. When Harley announces things, I want to go out to my truck and make a video talking about how they fucked up. So, man, I tell you what, Indian's doing real good. I'm real happy for him. I'm real excited. Might even have to go take a look at one. You know what I mean?